I'm Christian Mishlik, Superintendent of the L'Oreal School Division. Before we start, I'd like to acknowledge the land on which we're gathered is Treaty 1 territory and the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe, the Niaqua, and Dakota peoples, and homeland of the Métis Nation. This is an important statement that we continue to refine in LRSD, and with the guidance of our Indigenous Council of Grandmothers and Grandfathers, we're always looking to make this very important statement as true as we want it to be, needed to be. Over the next hour or so, you will be hearing from staff and students from the J.H. Bruns family of schools. And we'll get to see all the great things that have been happening in our schools. At the end, we will have time to answer your questions about our schools or our divisional pandemic plan. If you'd like to ask a question, please type it in the chat window. You should be seeing a screen appear, a slide, appear on the screen. That chat is being moderated, and so only published questions and thoughts will be visible to everyone. And again, at the end of the presentation, we will take time to answer some of your questions. I know this year has been so different from a typical way of being with each other. Parents and grandparents haven't had the opportunity to visit schools as they would in a typical year and see for themselves in this atypical year all the safety measures that have been put in place, and how we still continue to find joy despite all those measures we're taking to mitigate risk. All students, staff, and families are being so courageous in finding the strength to navigate the pandemic. And we want to celebrate that. We want to celebrate that community effort that has us finding the joy of learning despite the pandemic. From collectively finding a variety of ways to achieve 2 meters of physical distancing, to adapting to all kinds of new protocols that are forever being refined, and everything in between, I've been just so impressed and grateful to all of you. I'm also grateful for the colleagues that are joining me this evening. I'm in the room with Assistant Superintendents Henri Péloquin, Marlene Murray, and Lisa Aiken. Each leads several divisional departments, and on top of that, each liaises with schools to help provide a safe, inclusive, and engaging environment. Marlene is the liaison assistant superintendent for the J.H. Bruns family of schools.
Good evening, everyone. It is a great pleasure to be here, and as the liaison assistant superintendent for the J.H. Bruns family of schools, which includes Island Lakes Community School, Niaqua Place School, Shamrock School, and J.H. Bruns Collegiate. As Christian pointed out, this year is truly unlike any other. However, tonight you're going to get a sneak peek into the day of the life of our students and see just how well they've adjusted to their new reality. You're going to see examples of resilience, adaptability, and a whole lot of joy. The J.H. Bruns family of schools has a long tradition of strong school leadership and collaboration. The word family is really quite fitting for this group because they work together in the good times and the challenging times. An important feature of our family of schools structure is the support each school offers each other, along with building community that extends way beyond each individual school. So this group has put together some incredible community-minded projects. For example, Niaqua Place Community Schools Community Kitchen, developed in partnership with parents, the multi-year project to develop an outdoor learning space at the Island Lakes Community School, the partnership between J.H. Bruns Collegiate and St. Teresa Point First Nation, and now the beautiful enhancement to Shamrock School's playground with the support of the Parent Advisory Council. So as you can see with a few quick examples, although this year is like no other, community is still at the heart of everything that we do. And I want to extend my appreciation to staff for the work they do each day, for students who are sharing their stories tonight, and for families joining us here tonight.
Thank you, Marlene. Now let's hear from our Board of Trustees.
My name is Louise Johnston, Chair of the L'Oreal School Board. I've been a member of this board since its inception. I'm a lifelong resident of the division. This provides me with a great deal of perspective into the culture, core beliefs of this division, as well as a strong understanding of the identity of our community, the hopes and aspirations that we have for our children and our schools. This pandemic has affected all of us in so many ways. Your school board, senior administration, and every employee of this division has and is making it a top priority to do everything to help keep our community safe and supported. We continue to be committed to providing high-quality education that is equitable, engaging, and accessible to all students. I feel now more than ever the need to renew our efforts in advocating on behalf of everyone in LRSD to ensure the resources, tools, programs that reflect the needs of our community are available in LRSD now and in the future. It is so important that we find opportunities to stay connected, share, and support each other. These challenging and anxious times are very frightening. Please know that you and your children are part of a school division that is doing its very best right now. LRSD's strength is in its people, including all of you, and I'm confident that we will get through this together. I'd like to introduce Pam Kolchuk, Vice Chair of the Board. Pam?
Thanks, Louise. While I didn't grow up in Louis Riel School Division, I have been part of the community for over 15 years and have 2 girls who attend school within LRSD. From the boardroom table to the classroom, I've been connected to our schools as a parent, through preschool groups, parent councils, and now as a trustee. One of the true joys of this position is being able to talk to people in LRSD and having them share their stories of success, but also give feedback on ways we can improve too. While it has been harder to do this during a pandemic, it is always great to hear from the community. Those one-on-one conversations help me as a trustee understand what's working and where we could do better. It also gives me insight into what people in our community need, what's important to them, and how I can support them. I encourage all staff, students, and families in LRSD to reach out to myself or to any of the other trustees to share your thoughts, your concerns, or even to let us know about someone who's doing some great things or making a difference in our schools or neighborhoods. Working together, we will get through this and anything else that comes our way.
Thanks, Louise and Pam. Now let's hear a few words of encouragement from Pahan, a member of our valued Council of Grandmothers and Grandfathers.
Hello, it's Grandmother Paha, and I'm bringing this message to you from a cabin in the White Shell where Wambadi and I are hiding out for a few days. The first time I've been away from where we live, our home, since March. I was thinking about all of you and remembering a time when our son said something to me that I've often thought about. He was just a little boy, and he said, "You know, Mom, I noticed whenever you come back from ceremony, everybody is so happy." And that's true. And it was significant because in ceremony, we often are invited to step into being in discomfort. It may be on the land. We may be fasting from food and water. We may be dancing. There may be mosquitoes. We may be not having a shower. Sometimes we're by ourselves. Sometimes we're sharing a teepee. We're doing things that push us to be outside of our comfort zone. And we are challenged to get comfortable with our discomfort. And I think this is valuable because it gives us the opportunity to measure the value of those things in our life. And when the ceremony is complete and we return and accept those comforts that we've done without for a little while, there's great joy in that. There is great joy in that. The first sip of water after the fast. The food is so delicious when you've been giving it up. The first shower after you've been on the land for days without one. The comfort of your own bed, your own pillow, being with other people and being able to visit with them if you've been on your own. All of these things that are your discomforts reveal the value of those things to us. And when we are able to embrace them once again, that's when our joy comes. That's when our happiness comes. That's when our celebration comes. And I know that many of you know very well what it's like to be in discomfort, and you're probably getting used to being comfortable with your discomfort. And then I remember what our son said, and when it's over, there's so much joy and everyone's so happy. And so I've been thinking about that lately. I'm getting a chance to really think about what is valuable to me. What are my priorities? What do I miss the most? And then I know, because of this experience, over and over again, that in the reunification of all those things that I have given up for a short time, there will be great joy and there will be celebration. And I will embrace and know the true meaning and value to me. And maybe that means I'll do things differently. And I will know myself better. And I will accept the blessing that is being offered to me in that joy. Sometimes I know that it feels like no one notices or knows how tough, or all the things that we are doing to do our best. Maybe it feels like it's not noticed, or they're private things that you do, that I do. But there is always someone who knows all that you do, all that you feel, that you think, and all those private sacrifices and gifts that you give to the world. Someone always knows that. And I'm not talking about Santa Claus. And so you're not alone. You are noticed and you are seen. And so with that, I say, take good care. And I'm sending my love and prayers out to everyone.
Thank you, Pahan. I know things will look different for some families with the upcoming 2-week remote learning period in January. Students in grades 7 to 12 will be home learning. Some parents will choose for their children that they stay home to learn. And most of us in kindergarten to grade 6 will be in school to learn. However, I am excited to share with you how students have continued to thrive in these uncertain times. First up, let's hear from the Island Lakes Community School community.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Island Lakes Community School. I'm Jordan Faulkner, principal here at Island Lakes, and this is my second year here at ILCS. And as you can imagine, it's been quite a different year. What I hope we can share with you tonight is that despite all the differences, students and staff at ILCS are enjoying learning together. We're just doing it in different ways. ILCS is located in the southeast corner of our school division in the community of Island Lakes, south of Bishop Grandin and west of La Jamodier on Treaty 1 land. We are an English kindergarten to grade 8 school of 391 students and 48 staff. This year we have cohorts of students in kindergarten, grade 1-2, 2 cohorts of grade 3-4, 2 cohorts of 5-6, and 2 cohorts of grade 7-8. Also this year, we welcomed a cohort of learners and staff from Ecole Van Bellingham. Many of these students live in our community and are able to walk to school for school. Bonjour, mes amis. One of the things that makes working at ILCS so great is the support we receive from our parent community. Parents are very involved, and we have an amazing parent advisory council that supports our school and our students through activities, fundraising, and projects that enhance our whole community. So shout out to all of our families that we don't get to see as often anymore. In our video that we're sharing with you this evening, you'll see a glimpse into the daily life here at ILCS. We hope you enjoy getting to see all of us having fun learning during a day in the life at ILCS.
Every morning at LCS, we do announcements through Microsoft Teams. We do it on a live event through Microsoft Teams. We first do it live for the 8:35 group, and then we send out the recording of that meeting to the 8:50 group. I like doing announcements personally. I think it's fun.
So today we're practicing our underhand rolling as best we can with mittens on. We have hula golf, so the kids are in partners, in small groups, and they each have their own ball. Each ball is numbered, so they know that they are only allowed to touch their number ball. And they're trying to see how many rolls it takes them to get into a hoop, and then once they get into a hoop, they decide which hoop they need to go to next. And that's hula golf. Here at LCS, we have been building picture frames to put our plexiglass in here to slide a picture in, and we've been building circuits to light up the picture on the outside. So here I'm going to show you guys how we have stained the wood to make it look more nice.
My name is Angela Power, and I'm the principal of Niaqua Place School. Our school is a K-8 school with 260 students in the Southdale area. We have 12 blended classrooms with an incredible staff of 40 who make Niaqua Place a joyful place of learning. In the 3 years that I have been here, the best word that I can use to describe Niaqua Place School is community. A community is a social unit with common values who share a space. At Niaqua, we belong in a culture of equity and inclusion. At Niaqua, we develop independence and mastery through inquiry and responsibility with a focus always on well-being. The generosity of staff and students is demonstrated by their care and collaboration with one another. I want to thank PAC for their generosity as well. Together, staff, students, and families make up this community school. We have accomplished many things to enrich the lives of students. We have celebrated together. We have shown our generosity. We have laughed together. We have exercised together. We have played together. We have read together. We have danced together. We have learned together. Together with PAC, we created and opened our new community kitchen and Panther Paw Cafe. We have even shared a parade together. We are a community. We are Niaqua strong. And we continue to be strong together as we navigate this pandemic. Niaqua Place is a small, tucked away community school with the biggest heart. It is the staff, students, and the community working together that makes the difference. Thank you for sharing in our school experience.
I'm Sean and I'm in grade 7.
Hi, my name is Keenan. I'm in grade 7. We always sanitize our hands before we come into the school. At school, we always try to maintain 2-meter distance.
Even though this year is different, we still find ways to have fun. At Niaqua Place School, we always wear our masks except for at lunchtime to protect the safety of others. We appreciate the generosity of staff and custodians this year than any other year because they have to do so much more sanitizing and cleaning in an effort to keep us all safe.
We have reduced class sizes and limited contact to make our school safer. That's why we're in cohorts.
At Niaqua Place School, everyone is welcome and we all belong.
Hello, my name is Emmy and I'm in the 8th grade. We were picked for the Edwin project in late September. We're so appreciative of gathering the computers and teaching the students how to work OneNote in teams.
Hi, my name is Ruby and I'm in the 8th grade. So we're working on a Minecraft project for our social studies class. So how we're communicating is we're either talking in person or through Microsoft Teams. So we're working on a Minecraft project and about the Stone Age, and we get to pick between the different eras. And I love this project because we get to put all of our ideas together to make one big community.
Hi, my name is Rama and I'm in grade 6. Going through our everyday routine during the pandemic is a bit challenging. We're learning to use an app called Audacity. On there, we have to make 10 different sounds. We use things like the table, water bottles, or pencils to make sounds. Mr. Hickerson taught us how to merge all the sounds together and cut out parts we don't want to use.
Hi, my name is Lucas. I am in grade 6. In music, we were playing ukuleles. I was really shocked when I found out that we could still play instruments during the pandemic, because at the start, Mr. Hickerson told us that we couldn't sing or couldn't even play any instruments. So I was kind of sad. But then when I found out we could play ukulele, I was happy.
Hi, my name is Liam. I'm a grade 5 student. I think gym is different because we have to wear a mask and we're outside and it's an open space. Hi, my name is Addison. I'm a grade 4 student at Niaqua Place School. I like how we do yoga sometimes inside. I like how we get to stretch out. I like how we get to follow the videos and try and do the same things as you do in the videos. It makes me feel happy and it makes me feel like I don't have any more stress and anxiety. We also do Mindful Mondays on Mondays, and we basically talk about breathing.
Hello, my name is Grace and I'm in grade 2, and I really like about it is that we still get to do some of the stuff that we did in grade 1 and sometimes do a little different.
Hello, my name is Adriana and I'm in kindergarten.
I like that all my friends are still here. We get to read, and I know how to.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Kurt Cron, and this is my second year as principal of Shamrock School. And what a 2 years it has been. Despite the challenges we have all been navigating over the last 10 months, both staff and students at Shamrock School have adapted well, and our halls and playground echo the sounds of laughter and learning. Speaking of halls, our kindergarten to grade 8 school has 506 students with a staff of 68. On top of this, we also have a little over 100 grade 5 and 6 students from Ecole Sage Creek working and learning in our 2 gymnasiums. It truly is a full house. The Shamrock video you are about to see, much like the others, attempts to give you a glimpse of the day in the life of a Shamrock student. You'll be welcomed to Shamrock School by our morning kindergarten students and then enter the building with a grade 5-6 and a grade 7-8 class. Although physical distancing is a major safety factor, teachers have built community in each and every classroom and continue to make learning fun, as you'll see in our grade 1-2 classes. From special programming that includes cycling in the hallways to learning in the multi-purpose room, from guitars to outdoor recess, the work of teaching and learning continues as you get a brief glimpse into the day in the life of a Shamrock student.
School because it is super fun. Something else I really like about school is recess and gym because we get to play we play this game called Man Tracker, and if you tag someone, they're with you. And I also like gym because we usually sometimes get to play hockey or soccer. School is fun because we have outdoor gym. Miss Beresford is teaching us multiplication. We have to wear masks and stay 6 feet apart. I like having my own desk and having a bigger classroom this year. My favorite subject is math, and we are learning multiplication. I'm happy to see my friends again at school and my teachers.
Good morning from Micheline. Coming to school is so much fun. I get to learn new things, meet my friends, and play with them. I love solving math puzzles and science equations. There's so much to learn about. Recess is the best part of the day because we do lots of activities and run around, which helps our bodies get refreshed so we're ready to learn. Coming to school is the best thing ever.
Hi, I'm Caden. I'm in grade 8 at Shamrock School. This year, schools look different for all ages, but Shamrock has came up with some great ways to make sure it is still fun for everybody. We have all needed to wear masks and practice social distancing, but here are some of the things that have highlighted my school year so far. We've had the opportunity to have all of our gym classes outside in the huge field we have behind our school, and our gym teachers have done an amazing job making sure we have well-run activities to keep us busy. At the start of the year, we didn't have practical arts on our schedule, but our shops teacher made it work to come to our school and give us each one afternoon per week to help us make some amazing projects. Even though school has been different this year, the teachers and staff have made sure that it's been a great opportunity for us to still learn.
Hi, my name is Julie Cote Marinelli, and I am the principal of J.H. Bruns Collegiate. I have worked in this family of schools for almost 8 years now, and this is my 6th year working in administration at Bruns. Having the opportunity to know and work with so many of our families has been an absolute privilege. We are a true family of schools, and we appreciate the sense of community that exists across the neighborhoods. J.H. Bruns is a grades 9 to 12 school, which also includes 2 programs that educate students to the age of 21. We have 85 staff members that each have a significant and important role in caring for our more than 750 students. Each year is unique here at Bruns, and this year is no different. The challenges presented by COVID-19 have not deterred us from our commitment to providing a welcoming and nurturing environment where learning occurs and students continue to thrive. We look forward to entering the new year with renewed commitment to our students and our families as we navigate this larger experience together. Now let's hear from Emily and Mackenzie, who want to welcome you into the school and into a day in the life of a Bruns student.
I'm Emily, a co-president here at Bruns, and welcome to our school. One thing that really lifts our spirits up here at Bruns is walking down the main hallway and hearing our students play the amazing guitar. Let's go take a look. Coming back to school this fall, I was really worried about my academic life and how that was kind of gonna look. However, after we got into the groove of things, I really just realized school is still school. So here's our physics class. Hi, welcome to my grade 12 entrance at Bruns. Okay, well, welcome to my drama class.
Mental health awareness is very important to us here at Bruns. Obviously, this year is a little different, so we have to be a little bit more creative with what we're doing, but we're trying our best to promote the well-being of the students.
So every year we take a huge focus on mental health. However, after March and everything changing so drastically, I know personally and a lot of my peers were really suffering. So coming back in September, it was not only student council's goal, but also administration and the teachers, just to make sure that every single person in our community feels completely supported, and not only supported, they look forward to coming to school every day.
I hope you enjoyed seeing a day in the life of a few of our students and staff. My sincere hope is that these town halls continue to provide a forum to come together as a community, to share and learn. Now, let's, we're doing pretty good on time here. Let's have a look at some of the questions you've submitted. So we have a live Q&A that we're moderating, and I'm just going to go through the questions from top to bottom. And so we have Brandon, the moderator, who's been sharing more if I get to a question. So I think our first question was, will remote learning possibly go longer than 2 weeks? When will we find out? If schools go to red, how will I know who my child's teacher is for remote learning? So these are two very, well, they're all great questions. So these two questions, let's have a look. So in these 2 weeks from January 4th, what we have is public health a couple of weeks ago saying, out of an abundance of caution, because we saw an uptick in the virus after the Thanksgiving holiday, that same pattern may repeat itself after the Christmas break, after the Christmas holidays. And so, out of an abundance of caution, let's have the students in grades 7 to 12 learn from home. Again, premised on data. They looked at the COVID exposures in schools since September, and they see that the exposures overall are low, but the exposures in grades 7 to 12 are higher than the exposures in K to 6, and we looked at our own data and shared a story about that with the public that is the case. So right now, if things look the way they do today, we should expect that this 2-week remote learning for kids in grades 7 to 12 and kids in K to 6 whose parents choose to have them stay home is going to be just that, 2 weeks out of an abundance of caution, because we haven't seen an uptick in the virus in the community. But if we were to see something different, I'm confident that Dr. Rusin, the public health officials, would, in due course, let us know, and that period might be extended, or we might also move to red. And so, on that note, we still have a couple of days, and ideally, schools will have communicated with all in the community, staff and parents and students, as to the plan when we go to, if we go to red. Will, in the case of this question here, will the teacher change? You should have that information, that theoretical information, until the day when it becomes reality. So expect that information if you haven't yet received it by Friday. Man, that was a long-winded answer, wasn't it? Okay. So I'll try to be more succinct. Will remote learning possibly go longer than we? No, we did that one already. I'm a parent. Will I be able to tour the school before I register my child for kindergarten? So this is a good question. Again, they're all good questions. I've got to stop saying that. So registration will likely look like it did for us in the spring, where we essentially have already experienced this. We had to move to a remote, a distant, a remote process, leveraging technology that we are this evening last spring. In all likelihood, the pandemic is something we're going to need to navigate carefully until the vaccination program that's just getting started has really taken on full implementation, and the majority of Canadians have been vaccinated, and that's not likely to be the case until some point. Really lucky at some point, possibly in the fall of 21. is my sense from what I'm reading, like all of you, and seeing, like all of you, in the news. How do I sign up my child for the learning from home school? So if you're still looking for the learning from home school as an option because your child or someone in the household is requiring a learning option because of medical risks at home in the household or for the child, you just call your school principal, and they will direct you to the learning from home school team, and we'll have you registered into the school ASAP. We've had several questions about will that remote learning go longer than 2 weeks, and we touched on that. I understand some schools have practical arts. Will this happen in all schools? Yeah, well, that's an interesting thing, right? We saw in the videos how this has been one of the positive learning experiences in the pandemic is because of the pandemic. We asked of our practical arts teachers in middle years to shift their focus to not just the schools where they happen to be. We have practical arts facilities in only a few schools, but because we needed to use all spaces, including those practical arts spaces, we moved them into schools. So you saw, for example, at Island Lakes, a practical arts learning experience in the library there that is something brand new, is something we hadn't experienced at Island Lakes Community School before the pandemic. And so these are lessons learned for us, where we will have to talk about some of the things that really are interesting and maybe of value, and talk about that as a community of professionals, and always in concert with the community we serve. And so we'll have to talk about that. How are kids feeling? How are staff feeling about the fact that, as students pointed out in the videos, they're experiencing practical arts in their school in the pandemic, and it's something we're enjoying. So look for a conversation in the future about that. Is Shamrock going to be getting an outdoor tent like Van B? Well, what we've said about the tents is it's an experiment. Is this an investment in a structure that makes sense, that can really be a part of the strategy that has students and staff outside in the winter, and protecting students and staff from the cold, allowing for that experience to be comfortable, and so. Well, the weather hasn't really been cooperative in that way, because it's really not been cold enough to really test the theory. But we suspect January will bring that weather. We'd be naive to not think that January will bring that weather. And once we've tested the theory in these schools that need these tents because of the lack of space, in schools where we've determined there isn't at present a need for a tent like Shamrock, because there is room for phys ed indoors when kids need to be indoors, and there's more in the way of room for that, because there's room for that even in schools where there are tents. We are open to expanding the possibility of adding tents to other schools. So we'll know more in January. As a parent, it's difficult to understand my child's learning environment without having access to it. And would we expect a time when parents can see their child's learning environment? Well, that's the challenge, right? In a pandemic, for as long as we're in a pandemic, one of the big ways we're going to mitigate risk is to really limit access to schools. Again, we've got multiple measures in place, and the evidence so far after 4 months of school is that we're doing a pretty good job in public education, keeping everyone safe. And that's, again, because of this amazing collective effort. And one of those risk mitigating strategies is limiting who is in the school. And so, well, this is why we're doing what we're doing. These town hall events are our way of letting folks into the schools while in the pandemic, and hopefully offers some insight and some reassurance about the learning environments in our schools and the fact that they are joyful, productive places. What are plans for graduates? Yearbook, graduation events. Is there anything we can do to make this year special? Well, you bet. Every year needs to be a special year for that graduating class. And well, we proved it to ourselves last June. High schools did just an amazing job of celebrating graduates last year. And if we could do it in June 2020, I'm absolutely confident we'll do it in an amazing way in June of 21. And we won't let the pandemic, even in June of 21, get us down. How long will you offer remote learning options? So right now, we've made available a learning from home school for those who need to be learning from home for the duration of the pandemic. As the pandemic continued to evolve through November, with the city and then the province going to critical red, but schools staying in critical orange, we saw a growing anxiety in the community for some. And so we addressed those anxieties by offering a temporary learning from home option in grades K to 8, a divisional option, because it's really challenging for some of our smaller elementary schools to be able to do that on their own. In our high schools, because they're much larger places, larger communities, they're able to offer those temporary learning options, and will continue to do so. And so we've been talking about, we opened up that possibility to families, and then, but it can't just be a constant intake, because then that becomes challenging in and of itself. But we have been talking about how if we continue to find ourselves navigating this pandemic in challenging ways through the winter, how we might need to revisit and continue to build out that structure and open it up some more in kindergarten to grade 8. Again, in high schools, we're also just going to want to constantly refine how we do things in relationship to the pandemic, and my colleagues in high school are hard at work thinking of the second semester and how they can make it better. Another question is, here's, I'm sorry, I'm having trouble here scrolling through the questions. Has there been any word on using schools as vaccination sites? No word yet, but this is one important question. I am in dialogue with the province. I hope to have a very specific dialogue as it relates to Louis School Division. As we think of vaccinations rolling out, schools could most definitely play a part. Before we see vaccines, what we hear we might see is some rapid testing, and I hope to see that in the new year, and that LRSD will play its part in piloting rapid testing in schools. We've talked about grad. We've got another question there. Will elementary schools ever move toward a bring your own device model? So this question is actually a question we're asking ourselves. Our intent was actually to put out a spotlight on this very question in the coming days, about how because we did, but maybe in a soft way early on in the school year, where parents are already providing a device to their child, whether it be an iPad or a laptop. We really want to encourage children to bring that device they own to school, iPads or laptops. it's safe to do. It's been an amazingly successful experience in high schools, and in terms of any worries about vandalism or theft, we've really not experienced that in any way. And I think that would be the biggest worry for a parent. I remember it was a worry of mine with my daughters when they were school age, and that really shouldn't and mustn't be a worry based on experience. And so, indeed, we're hoping to see that expand into elementary schools. And that will, again, just allow us to build on this very important priority in our multi-year strategic plan, which is to address inequity, making for a more equitable 40 schools in LRSD. Lots of great questions. So I'm being told it's time to wrap up. One more? Okay. So I've got one more here. Do you see the half-day alternate day school scenario going all year at Bruns? Okay, well that's an interesting question, but that's one I can't answer. I'm going to have to turn to Julie in order to answer it. So we're going to have to do that technologically. So I think we're going to need to mute.
And I guess at this point, what I would say is we are prepared to go as long as we need to in this way. We work together across the school division, though, so any decisions in that regard would cross all of our high schools. But I think it's the way we've approached things is we've been ready to pivot in any direction as we need to or as we're able to. So I think we'll be looking to see what occurs in the coming months. As of right now, we're moving forward in the way that we have things structured. Yeah.
Thanks, Julie. So I think we'll end it there. Those have been great questions, and this has just been a wonderful evening for me, and I hope for you. In the new year, we'll be following a similar format and featuring all those families of schools that have yet to share the wonder in their classrooms. So keep an eye out for those special opportunities. I want to thank you for joining us this evening. I want to thank the students and staff in the J.H. Bruns family of schools for all they put into presenting to us this evening. And I hope it's evident that we really value everyone's perspective. And this is just one way we're trying to get us to continue to share. We put a link to an exit survey. Those exit surveys are so important to us in improving this aspect of what we do and all that we do. So don't limit your suggestions to just the evening and the town halls, but to anything we're doing in LRSD. Let us know how we can improve. And we'll also get the link to you in an email in case you're not able to find it in the chat. So, wishing you and your family peace, happiness, and joy in this holiday season. See you in 2021.